Look, the bottom line is they just don't want to hear from you. They're afraid that if they actually listen to you, it might plant a seed in their head that might cause them to start believing. One of the most fascinating things that I have noticed about atheists is that they will tell you what you believe as a believer. They make assumptions about everything that you believe, but they never actually ask you what you believe. It is remarkable to me, even from comments that we get on this YouTube channel about our videos, how clear it is that so many of the commentators who write don't actually watch the videos upon which they are commenting. So they decide that believers are nonsensical and they believe in fairy tales and so forth, but those are not the topics that are involved. And the same thing applies when it comes to your discussions with your atheist friends. They will never ask you, why do you believe what you believe? The times that they do are the times that they are going to open the door and eventually discover God themselves. That's what opened the door for me. When I actually asked my friends who were devout Jews, devout Christians, why do you believe what you believe? I want to hear from you, because my impression of what you believe is that it's very shallow and that you just want to protect yourself from eternal damnation or hell. And so maybe I'm missing something. Tell me what I'm missing. This is a conversation that very few atheists, if any, will ever ask you. And if they do ask you, like I said, they're on the road toward believing in God. Why is this? They'd much rather think of themselves with a smug superiority. And I'm not even saying this as an insult. People naturally want to feel that their position on theology, on politics, musical taste for that matter, that they're superior. Their belief system is better. And so for an atheist, they see themselves as advancers of a world of science and progress. You, on the other hand, are not. You're for going backward. You're for not listening to science. And this is why the atheist doesn't want to ask you questions. Because if he did, you would answer him with what you know to be true. The reason why you believe in God is not just because you took some leap of faith, but also because you began to see the wisdom and the beauty and the science, yes, the science of God. You began to understand how things connect, and that the only way to explain what you see around you is that there was a creator who designed this. Once you realize there was a creator who also gave you free will, you begin to wonder whether or not that creator was also the God of the Bible. When you realize that, then you're well on way to believing not only the creator, but also the notion of a God of the Bible. Look, the bottom line is they just don't want to hear from you. They're afraid that if they actually listen to you, it might plant a seed in their head that might cause them to start believing. They'd rather believe that you believe in petty nonsense, that you're just there because you want to not think about anything, that you just want to give your life to God and surrender your intellect to this invisible sky God, as they like to call it. That's what they want to think about you. But get in the soup. Ask them, would you actually like to understand why I believe what I believe? Or do you want to tell me what I believe? Are we going to have an honest discussion here? Because if you are not going to even understand what I believe or even ask what I believe, then how can you really have a meaningful debate? I'm Barak Lurie. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk with you next week.